The economy always matters, no question about it, no matter how we distract ourselves. I believe the economy is going to be defined by pricing as a function of whether tariffs helped or hurt, okay? Let's discuss. Bill O'Reilly, Stephen A. Smith. The latest is that a record amount of revenue is said to be coming in. Now, let's put to the side all of the legalities. I believe the president clearly exceeded the emergency powers to tariffs, because remember, a president, the executive can't tax, okay? Congress can. Congress has given the president powers in very different laws over the years. I believe he clearly exceeded them. That's what the court has said so far, but they'll appeal it and we'll figure it out. Here's my question to you, Stephen A. Smith, I start. Is it a win for the president if the money is coming in, but it's being paid for by our small businesses? I just had the Gym in a Box owner, half of the owner, Nika, her husband Nino owns the other half, saying, I'm paying these. My prices are exploding because I'm paying the import tax. Is there a win, or is this potentially a lose if the money is coming out of the pockets of the people we're supposed to help the most?
I think the answer is both. It could potentially be a loss, but when you listen to the Trump administration talk and his supporters bloviate about what he has been doing courtesy of these tariffs, they say there's been about $15 trillion in pledges that have been made to manufacturers, to conductors, and all of this other stuff. My position is that those are pledges. They ain't guaranteed. And those pledges can be reneged upon in the event that those companies are losing so much money that they don't want to honor the commitment and the pledges that they've made. So it's a bunch of pomp and circumstance as far as I'm concerned until it's finalized in writing and we see it have a positive effect on our economy. But if you listen to people talk, they say things were expected to be much worse. It is not. They talk about things along those lines, and look at the S&P 500 just a couple of weeks ago, it was up about 10%. They bring up stuff like that, and they point to that as being a positive. I say it remains to be seen. If you can imagine that if companies are paying too much, that it's going to ultimately trickle down to the consumer. It's certainly not going to provoke, employment on the part of these companies, bringing in more employees so people can have money to spend and fuel the economy. That would be a huge negative. But again, it remains to be seen, so we don't know.
The people who say hello to you every time we're together, Bill, are not the investor economy. They're not what's driving Wall Street and the Magnificent Seven tech companies that are largely leading the way in the stock returns that Stephen A. is talking about. People are sweating labor. This is a lagging indicator, these tariffs. It's just starting to bear the bite. If the deals don't come and come soon so that the tariffs can be adjusted, do you believe this haunts in the midterms?
I have no blanking idea, okay? I hearken back to my accounting class at Chaminade High School on Long Island,
1956.
which was torture. No, it was before that, just the middle of World War II. It was torture. But I do remember accounts receivable and accounts payable. So I cannot analyze the tariffs, unlike you, Karnak the Magnificent, without data. And I don't have data. When the quarter ends, every business then is required to put out a form. This is how much we paid. This is how much we made. This is how much we lost, whatever. I had to pay one of my corporate taxes next week. And I have to tell the government this is what we did, it's what we did. So it's impossible to analyze this.
No.
If you're right.
You're right about income tax. You're right about income tax. You are not right about these kinds of excise taxes and importing taxes, because this is
listed on their it'll be listed on their sheets.
But you can know.
So if
you can know
businesses,
before. You can know before. You do not need to see this as a function of their tax returns.
Know.
No, you're hearing it in real time, and they're putting out data in real time.
I'm hearing it, but hearing it doesn't matter. I am a journalist. I have to see it. Anybody can say anything.
Or are you just delaying and hoping time helps you?
I don't hope anything. I got no rooting interest in the tariffs. I know Trump has the authority to regulate how the nation's trade system goes down. There's no question about that. He has the authority to do it. Okay, and these lawsuits are a bunch of crap. But you're right that if come February that small businesses stop hiring, that profits go down for both corporations and small business, that people are paying more for essentials, then the Republicans will get wiped out in the midterms. Because that is issue number one.
I agree with you. It's issue number one. I believe that there is no time. I believe that you've got to get on this right now. Small businesses especially are feeling it.
Get on what?
They are feeling a bottom line pressure because their cost structure has gotten exploded by these tariffs. And their costs are up 35, 50, 75%. And they're being asked to pay it now.
That's not what the consumer is. That's not what the consumer is experiencing. I paid $3 a gallon for gas.
Well, but that's
today.
But gas,
okay, it's
gas
all
is
consumer driven.
Right. Listen, gas, fine, but you're going to see this story develop. I'm just saying that there's a lot of risk from the way this was done. Again, I'm always about the how. Okay, what the president did showed that he was active and muscular in this, but how it pans out, I think there's a lot of risk in this one.
And let's remember fear.
And I agree with that.
Let's remember the word
I agree
fear.
there's a lot of risk.
Last word to Stephen A.
If you've got the consumer out there that's scared because they don't trust what they see is going on, regardless of the absence of any factual data to support their position, it may affect the way that they spend, which affects our economy.
Right.
It seems simple to me.
Sentimentality. Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.